Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Tyson. This is what the show looks like. Starting off with great news coming from the world of football in the Italian Serie A, to be precise, where Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen rescues Napoli from defeat in the Italian Serie A with a late equalizer against Cagliari. Also on the program this time around in boxing, Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury have both signed their contract for their WBC heavyweight championship fights. Also in sport this morning, this time around, let's go to the world of tennis, where world number one Novak Djokovic defeats Lorenzo Mussetti at the Dubai Tennis Championships in his first match of the season. All right, so that's just a teaser for the show. There's a lot more to come in the next 55 minutes, so try and stick with us. We've got a very exciting show for you. We're going to be starting off with tennis. That's the Dubai. Okay, before we go to tennis and talk about what happened for Novak Djokovic in his first match of the season, let's start with the breaking news coming from the world of boxing, where Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury have signed their contract for the WBC heavyweight title fight. That contract was finally signed yesterday night, very close to the deadline day. As a matter of fact, Dillian Whyte was kind of holding up that particular situation, but it's safe to say now that it's official between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte, and we can't wait to see these two British boxers get it on. The fight is expected to happen in April, and Wembley is being targeted as the venue. So that's it. It's official. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte has been waiting for a long time to fight for the heavyweight title of the world, and is finally going to get his shot against Tyson Fury. Of course, you know, Tyson Fury is coming out on the back of defeating Deontay Wilder in that classic trilogy bout in America just last year. And we're all looking forward to seeing what's going to go down between the Gypsy King as well as Dillian Whyte. So that's the updates coming from the world of boxing. Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte is official, and perhaps whoever wins this bout will have a chance of, you know, taking on the winner between Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Of course, as soon as we get more updates on the story, we'll be letting you know on sports this morning. All right, so that's action coming from the Dubai Tennis Championship. Let's leave tennis finally now while we await what goes down in the subsequent rounds in Dubai. Of course, let me also tell you that 21-time Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal is going to be in action as well, too. That's in Acapulco, Mexico. All right, so that's it for tennis. Let's get on with the show, and let's give you updates coming from the world of karate right here in Nigeria, where over 300 athletes and officials have converged in Port Harcourt for the strata-based Nigeria Senior Open Karate Championship. According to the Karate Federation of Nigeria, the championship is ranked with event factor 6, and athletes have gathered points in the various cadres. The federation added that this policy is to have regular championship in order to build high competitiveness among athletes, sharpen their techniques, and drive their standard sequences.
I feel very excited. I never expected this. Right from the beginning, I was very tensed. I didn't know I would go this far, getting the gold. Because last time I stopped at silver in the National Sports Festival Edo 2020. So I'm so glad and excited.
We have talents, we have athletes, we have referees, but if they don't go out, we always expect us to compete with countries like Egypt. Egypt, they go everywhere. I mean, currently now, there's a Premier League in Dubai. The Egyptians, the North Africans are there, but our own players are not able to go. So funding will help us a lot.
Away from karate, let's go to the world of Scrabble right here in Lagos. Over 100 players, including former world champion Wellington Jigeri, have converged at the Lagos Country Club to compete in the 2022 Mind Games Scrabble Premier League. After about 13 hours of quality play, Team Brinkers, led by Emmanuel Ofidi, edged Airport Alpha with a slim result of 38 wins and 22 defeats. The Airporters recorded 36 wins and 24 defeats from players' results to finish second. In other placements, Lekki Bombers finished third on the table, while Bayelsa Maestros finished fourth. Gracious Speakers, Team A, Bulldozers, Indomitables, and Takana Drones occupied fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, as well as the eighth positions, while Hurricanes, Phoenix, Supremes, Sterling's Bombers completed the 12-team log. The match day 2 of the most glamorous Scrabble League in Africa will hold on May 7th in Abuja.
The reason for the league actually is to kind of try something different from the normal way that we used to play Scrabble in Nigeria, even around the world as well. Scrabble has always been, over the years, a game, an individual game, but we thought it would make a whole lot of sense if we, have a team event where people come together and play as a team, and that can actually give room for support. Like, people can actually follow different teams and support different teams, and just like you have in football, you have fans everywhere. Even the Scrabble teams can also have their fans. The format is that a team actually comprises 6 players, 5 main players and 1 reserve. At every point in time, the 5 main players, will be playing a match against the, 5 players of the other team. And, we are looking for, like, if you win, who wins 3? At least 3. If you win 4, you win the match. If you win 5, or if you win 3. So, and if if it happens that there's a draw, there's also a possibility of playing a draw. But majorly, the format is that we have 12 teams in each division, and then it's just like a league table. We're running it as a league. So the team with the highest number of wins, and at the end of the league, wins the tournament.
I would say the tempo has been kept, and the organizers are doing. They are trying. And I'm seeing that there is an elevation from what they used to do, which is a good one. It's a good trend for the country, for our Scrabble players, and we hope it just gets better. The Nigeria Scrabble Federation on its own will soon roll out some programs that will be very, very interactive, that will be friendly, that will be accommodating to us Scrabble players, that will keep them up their feet. That's what we want. We want activities. We want our Scrabble season to be very busy. I think the new board of the NSF, they are up and running, and things will start coming to limelight. It's going to start with the Kano Opens.
All right, from the world of Scrabble, let's go to the Nigeria School Sports Federation Selection Trials, where Peace Lekwot of Kaduna State has become the star performer after she won 2 gold medals and achieved a new personal best at the Nigeria School Federation Athletics Trials held at the Yaba College of Technology. The Faith Academy students defied the odds to emerge champion in the long and high jumps of the girls' events of the 2-day championships. In the long jump event, Lekwot posted 5.30 meters to erase her personal best of 5.26 meters, while in the high jump, she sets a new personal best of 1.50 meters. Daniel Eminike claimed the gold medal in the boys javelin events. Lukman Adebayo of Lagos emerged champion in the 100 meters. About 536 athletes from 16 states took part in the championship, which served as a trial to select Nigeria's contingent for the World School Athletics Championships taking place later in the year. All right, let's go back to Scrabble and get what the players are saying. They have been talking about the expectations for the rest of the season.
We are not just the we are not just occupying the first place in Africa. We are currently occupying the first place in the world. We are the best Scrabble playing nation in the world. We won the trophy for the first time in 2015, which coincided with my World Scrabble Championship win. And we have successfully defended the title in every other World Scrabble Championship since then. The league is helping to boost Scrabble activities in Nigeria, and with regular Scrabble activities comes the need for top players to consistently put in the work to be in the best shape possible. So we have an international event coming up in July in the US, for example. By the time you have these activities month in, month out, sometimes twice in a month, you cannot have a situation whereby the top players in the country who are most likely going to represent us there will be in the topmost shape possible. And that is all we need to have a very good performance in international events. When our top players are in the best shape possible, we can take on any opposition from anywhere in the world.
This MGI League 2022, I believe, will be the best Scrabble event that will ever happen in Nigeria, because of the fact that in the Nigeria Scrabble scene, at the point in time when we have teams participating, we have some major teams that are known to be extraordinary in the league. But I think this 2022 league is going to be stiff because all teams have actually beef up their players, they beef up their team. The league is going to be tight and the competition is going to be high. So I believe the best team will actually deliver in this one. But you can't pinpoint a particular team that is a team that's going to finish tops, maybe first three, like people could easily predict in the subsequent MGI league. But this particular league, nobody can predict who's going to be the winner.
This is a game you will just love. Come around, see how people play, develop your intellect, and let's take Scrabble to the highest of echelons in the world. Nigeria, as of today, we maintain the rating, best Scrabble playing nation. We need to sustain that and be a pathfinder, not just only in other sports. We're also doing very well in chess. Board games will develop the mind. It's something we can actually use to entice the youth. So for me, this is the way to go.
Most of my age mates, they are not running 800, and most of it that is running 800, my time is better than them in Nigeria.
It was crucial for me to win because I can't go to the next competition without this one.
Come the 14th to 22nd of May 2022, the winners from this event, first and second, and possibly third, because we're going to have a camping session where we will invite the first to fourth position, and then two of them will be representing Nigeria in each of these events at the 19th International School Sports Federation Gymnasium. The gymnasium is like the school sports Olympics across the globe, and then the representative will be drawn from this event, and they'll be representing Nigeria come 14th to 22nd in May in France.
I was among the screening officers, and some students were denied participation because they were not qualified. And we have to make sure that they do things right, because if we don't do that, when they get to the international nation, it will be a problem and an embarrassment to Nigeria as a country.
The School Sports Federation is trying to be as straightforward as possible, which is what we need currently. So they just refuse to handpick people. They're like, okay, you know you can do it, come out here and let us see you, and then let us take you. I think that's a great one, and I know my ministry will be impressed. We're actually impressed for what has happened, because now we will know that what we have taken or what they are going to take out of the country are actually supposed to be the best, and which is what it's supposed to be.
You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We're still building up to tomorrow's crucial World Africa Cup Nations qualifier involving Nigeria Super Falcons and the Lady Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. As you know already, the ladies are in town already. That's in Abidjan, and they are intensifying training for that game. Nigeria lead 2-0 from the first leg, and they must just avoid any kind of defeat to advance into the Africa Women's Cup of Nations, which is also going to serve as qualifiers for the World Cup. In the first leg, there was a debut for Ashley Plumpton of Leicester City, and the English-born defender has been talking about her switch to Nigeria and experience so far.
I started playing when I was 4, played for Leicester when I was 8 until I was 14, then went around to a few different clubs in England. So I played for Birmingham, Derby County, then went to Notts County before I went to America. So I played for University of Southern California in LA, and got back in December 2019, signed a 2-year contract with Leicester, and now we got promoted from the Championship to the Women's Super League for this season. So it's my first year in the Super League at the minute. The biggest thing, I've said this in a few other interviews, but the biggest thing in my life is my family, pretty much, and my sister and I have 2 younger brothers and 1 younger sister. My sister and I, we have the same dad, so my dad's Nigerian, my granddad was born in Lagos. My 2 brothers, I have an English mum, and their dad's also English. So my sister's upbringing has been a little bit different to mine, only because we're both Nigerian, but she's gone through things that I haven't, and we've kind of been interested in knowing about more of our heritage based upon how she identifies herself and how I do as well. So it's only been in the last couple of years, and especially last year during COVID, when my sister and I kind of bonded over the fact that we have this Nigerian heritage. And for me, she's only 11, and I feel like I can kind of help and advise her on a lot of things, but this is like a new journey for both of us, so it's like I'm taking her on the journey with me. For me, I'm always, as a footballer, you should always be learning, and I think some of the things I potentially can help other girls with in terms of like tactical knowledge is interesting so far, but yeah, the athleticism and things like that are things that I'm not necessarily used to. So for me, I think it's important, because if I'm going to be invited to more camps, I need to know how to adapt, but it's also kind of blending both together. And I guess I have a bit of a British mentality at times. Like I allow myself to get frustrated at things. Like off the pitch, I'm kind of smiley, and I can kind of, I don't know, I'm just nice, so to speak. But on the pitch, I can get frustrated very easily, and that has happened in a few training sessions. But what's nice here is, compared to being in England, where everybody is getting frustrated and swearing all the time, people just get on with it here, which is quite nice.
It's quite nice indeed. Leicester City defender Ashley Plumpton, obviously delighted to be representing the Super Falcons of Nigeria. I'm now being joined on the show by football analyst Olamide Oshilade via Skype. Olamide, good morning. It's great to have you on the show. What's up?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
All right, fantastic. Did you catch a glimpse of Ashley playing for the Super Falcons against Cote d'Ivoire? By all accounts, she gave a very good account of herself.
Yeah, it was amazing seeing her, play and control that defense line, very well. And even after the game, you can see the fans were really happy. They were, singing her name, screaming Oyibo, Oyibo, because she has done amazing, amazing well. Before you can see Nigerians chant, Oyibo like that, it means that we have been really impressed by her performance. And you can see that she was able to, adapt well in her first game. Although from that interview, she's been, of course, adaptation takes a process for players, especially when she's coming down in a new continent, Africa, and where in Nigeria, where she hasn't, lived most of her life. Definitely it's going to take a long time. But she has been with the Falcons in one of their training camps in Austria as well. So coming to Nigeria here with the Falcons is not her first time with the Falcons per se, but like a competitive game. Yeah, likewise that. She did well. It was very impressive, and you can just tell. Look at the smile on her face. Hanging out with Africans, and I tell you what, even I can see some videos on social media with her roommate. She's chilling with the players. Her roommate Uchenna Kanu, taking her time to explain to us some things about Nigeria. They're dancing together to Afro beats. And that bonding, you can just see it there, and the girl, she's smiling, she's doing all right. So I believe she's a key factor, a key addition to our defense, at the Super Falcons.
You're spot on. She seems to have settled in nicely and bonding with the ladies as well. So let's hope that she and the Falcons can shut out Cote d'Ivoire. That's the Lady Elephants tomorrow. That's in the second leg of the Alcon qualifier. All right, let's leave one qualifier to another qualifier. This time around, we're talking about the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. There's new dates now for that match between Nigeria and Ghana. According to CAF, this match has now been rescheduled for March the 25th. That's the first leg in Ghana, while the second leg is going to go down on March the 29th. That's going to be at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. Olamide, this shouldn't really be a big deal, right? I mean, it's just a change of dates, nothing to really worry about.
Yeah, certainly nothing to worry about because, of course, whenever the date is changed like this, maybe you want to investigate why the change of dates, and maybe, from CAF side. But I don't see it because this is competition, and it has to do with, ability of the both teams. Of course, there's a rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria, especially people tagging it the Jollof Wars, and we are saying we know as Nigerians here, we know that for sure this is our game, and this is something that we have to win. Of course, Nigeria should qualify for the World Cup, given the performance that Ghana had at the last AFCON compared to that of Nigeria. Of course, we were both out at the group stage, definitely, but I mean, Ghana was out at the group stage while Nigerians went to the round of 16.
In the second round.
Of course, we didn't go further. Yeah, second round. We didn't go further after that. But still, Nigeria performed better on paper. Nigeria performed tactically better. And the Ghanaians thought they could use juju. A lot of rumors about juju and black power, African power, African black magic was on in their camp. But this time around, the Ghanaians also are there. They've gotten a new coach, a new coaching crew for themselves. And I think they will be ready to bring in fresh legs as well. But you can see the Nigerian team, we are full of confidence. In fact, the players who didn't play at the AFCON as well are also
Okay. Seem to be struggling with signal coming from Olamide's and we'll try and reconnect with him. Okay, Olamide, you're back. Just conclude your thoughts. Let's move on the program.
Yes. So I'm talking about.
All right, we will try to reconnect with Olamide again. Seems to be having issues with his signal. Olamide, carry on now before we move on to other items on the show.
Yes. I just wanted to just add that the addition of Ademola Lookman will be very key to our qualification because you can see him. He has scored 6 goals in the Premier League right now. So he's on fire with Leicester City, and also look at Victor Osimhen. He could be back with the squad as well. Somebody who has scored 11 goals as well in 20 appearances for Napoli with an injury-plagued season for him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Nigeria would have we have an edge over Ghana. For sure.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. So save the dates. It's now going to be the first leg against Ghana will be on the 25th of March. That's at the Cape Coast Stadium, while the return leg will be on the 29th of March. That's in Abuja, the MKO Abiola National Stadium. Save the dates wherever you want to do that. We're still talking football, but let's come home and talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. Match day 14 games that went down yesterday. We have the results for you. Let's run through them before I get the thoughts of Olamide. And I don't want to say it's worrying times for Remo Stars just yet, but the fact of the matter is they've now lost back-to-back games. We'll get to Remo Stars later on, but first, Katsina United and Heartland. They played out a 1-1 draw, while Canopilas defeated Abia Warriors by 2-1. Elsewhere, it was Nasuru United with a 1-0 victory over Niger Tornadoes, while Lobby Stars defeated Remo Stars by the same scoreline. So Olamide, Remo Stars started the season on fire. They didn't lose for a very long time, but that unbeaten run is over now, and they've gone on to lose back-to-back games again. Are you starting to get worried for them?
Well, at the beginning of the season, it was like this is going to be an underdog story that will be told for a long time in the Nigerian Premier League. But at the moment, well, I can see a rearrangement of the table whereby Plateau United is taking shape right there, and some other teams that definitely should be in the top 4 are already getting there. Are already there, taking shape. The old table is taking shape at the moment. But when you look at that run that Remo Stars had, it's kudos to the coach Benga Ogumbote there, and the project being done at Remo Stars. So 2 games they have lost back to back, but of course we cannot take away the fact that the team itself is quality. You understand? They have quality striker, quality players. When they came back into the NPFL, so they try to put things in shape. So if big teams like Rivers United have lost, why can't Remo Stars lose? As well, especially away where they've lost at Lobby Stars. So it's something that has been a norm in the MPFL for teams to lose away, But when you have a draw away, it's usually a win, for most teams in the MPFL. But seeing Remo Stars lose right now, it's something that they should work to get back on their feet because they have the quality. And losing 2 games is just a step. It's just a step back for them. which the coach has to work on, and so that they will not be able to lose focus on, that African ticket, African football championship ticket.
All right, so despite back-to-back losses for Remo Stars, they're still fourth on the log with 23 points from 14 games. Perhaps those points that they picked up very early in the season will come back to serve them well towards the closing rounds of the Nigeria Professional Football League. The coach, Benga Ogunbote, has insisted always that they're not in here to win the Premier League. They're here to avoid relegation and stay another season in the top flight. All right, let's leave the NPFL. Let's go to Europe. Let's go to the Italian Serie A, to be precise, where Victor Osimhen had to climb off the bench to rescue Napoli from defeat against Cagliari. I don't know why the coach decided to start him on the bench in the first place, but it was looking like they were going to lose that game, and Luciano Spalletti decided to bring on Victor Osimhen, and guess what? He does what he does, scored a beautiful header, and that's how Napoli were able to get a point from that game.
Yes, in this game, you see, before the game per se, Spalletti, the coach of Napoli, came up with, he came to the press and said that Victor Osimhen, will be rested, that he's going to rest him because of some precautions. But before then, some Napoli legends have been saying that Victor Osimhen still needs to learn, some things as a striker, positioning. Yeah. And I'm like, what has been giving him the goals? He has scored 11 goals so far. So are you saying that he's not fit enough? It's 70 million euro striker, somebody who is on the radar of Liverpool and other top teams in Europe. Are you saying that he's not a good striker for Napoli? But he has been among the goals, and getting 11 goals in the Serie A, it's something that you can't just take off, you can't just write off. He's a key man for Napoli. All those runs, those power headers, it's something that can give Napoli an edge over things. And look at the weekend, whereby all the top 6 teams in the Serie A dropped points. It could have been a loss. It could have been a loss for Napoli, but if not for Victor Osimhen. So you can't just lose faith in your striker, like that.
Yeah.
Victor Osimhen has proven times after times that he's somebody that you can't just write off. He has been in the team. If not for injuries that have plagued him, definitely he would have scored more than 11 goals this season, because he's averaging, at least something like 1.2 goals per match that he has played so far. So it's something that you can't just say that you want to rest your key player in a game where you needed to win for you to go top of the table in Serie A. At that moment, you found out that, look, I have nothing to do right now. I have to just bring him up. And look at it. They said they were that he's scared of heading. According to the media said Victor Osimhen is scared of heading the ball, and going, in dangerous positions to get a goal for Napoli. But of course, he did what he would usually do, put his heart and head into it, and headed the ball in and scored a beautiful goal for Napoli to rescue them in the dying minutes. So it's Victor is somebody that is an asset for both Nigeria and Napoli.
Yeah, you're spot on, Olamide. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Victor Osimhen rescuing Napoli from that loss against Cagliari. They could have, you dropped more points than 2. But thanks to Victor Osimhen for saving them right there from the bench of Napoli. Let's leave the Italian Serie A now and let's go to the UEFA Champions League. 2 games will go down today. The first one between Chelsea and Lille. The other matchup is between Villarreal and Juventus. We need to go on a break, though. When we come back, we'll be doing a comprehensive preview of those games with Olamide. You're welcome back. Time to take a look at the fixtures for the UEFA Champions League round of 16 matches are slated for tonight. Chelsea versus Lille at Stamford Bridge, while Villarreal will take on Juventus. And before I go back to Olamide, let's get the pre-match thoughts of Thomas Tuchel speaking ahead of tonight's game against Lille.
Difficult to play it in the stadium, but the bond, the quality of the players, quality of the coach was exceptional, and you could feel that they have a chance to fight constantly for a place in the Champions League. So last season they became champions, which is huge in France, of course. And from there they lost players and they lost the coach. So there's a huge how do you call it, like a huge change. And like if the change is so big, there's a possibility that it takes some time until things settle in. Now they lost another key player in winter with Ikone in their attacking formation. But still, you know, we all know like how physical the French football is. We know how physical the offensive players are in French football, very fast, very, very brave in one-on-one challenges, always a threat on counterattacks, very disciplined against the ball, and they have the chance that they have the chance to play this game as underdogs.
So Lille, they're 11th in the Ligue 1, while Chelsea are 3rd in the Premier League. And despite the gulf in class, Thomas Tuchel obviously is not ready to underestimate the French team. Olamide, Chelsea obviously are favourites for this game. Where do you see anything going wrong for the Blues?
Well, yeah, like you rightly said, you know, Lille is coming in as underdog. Lille is coming in as underdogs, yeah, and due to the fact that they've lost, you know, quite some key players, they have a gap in their squad. That's why they are, after winning the Ligue 1 last season, they are back, you know, to 11th, you know, way down on the table. And, you know, definitely, when you look at the Chelsea squad, they are coming back from winning, you know, the Club World Cup, you know, something. And look at, they have someone like Eduardo Mendy, who also won the African Cup. So the confidence definitely is high at the Chelsea side. So they are definitely underdogs, but you don't want to write them off because of the style of play of teams in the Ligue 1. For example, like Lille, very good on the counter. You know, they have individual players that are very brilliant on the ball who could cause damage to Chelsea. But of course, Chelsea is a strong side, even though, you know, there was a bit of upset, you know, they narrowly escaped in their last Premier League game. Yeah, you know, so of course they did everything right in that game, but at the end of the day, it was left down to the dying minute for GH to get a goal, you know. So all those things as well can come into play. So they don't have to underrate Lille, but no matter what, Lille is an underdog here on paper. Chelsea is definitely going to win this game, especially the fact that they are at home. They are at home, especially, you know, that home advantage in front of their own fans. And, you know, they are also the winner of the last Champions League. So I can't just write them off like that, you know.
So Chelsea for the win.
3 points. Chelsea for the win, Chelsea to qualify as well, you know.
You're not even waiting for the second leg to be played there, but I can see why you're saying that. Lille definitely been off color since winning Ligue 1 last season. One of the players Chelsea were banking on to get the victory over Lille tonight is Romelu Lukaku. A lot has been made of his poor form recently. As a matter of fact, over the weekend against Crystal Palace, he had just 7 touches of the ball, which is a record low for any striker to play 90 minutes. Before I come to you on Lukaku, let's take a listen to Thomas Tuchel once again restating his support for the Belgian striker.
Well, now we have to deal with it. I mean, there are data out there, and the data speak a certain language, so he was not involved in our game. It's sometimes like this with strikers, if they struggle a bit in self-confidence, if they struggle a little bit to find the space and to get involved against a good defensive side. It can be like this, and this is of course not what we want, and of course not what Romelu wants, but it's also not like it's not the time to laugh about him and make jokes about him. He is in the spotlight, of course, and we will protect him because he's our player.
Yes, Thomas Tuchel will protect Romelu Lukaku. That's a message very clear coming from the Chelsea gaffer. Olamide, I'm going to let you go now, but before then, you've got 20 seconds on these Romelu Lukaku struggles at Chelsea. What do you think is going on?
Well, you can just conclude on what's going on in the dressing room, between him and the coach. They could not be in good terms. They could be in good terms. It could be the environment there could be toxic for the player. But we all know that Romelu Lukaku is quality, right from time. I mean, he's proven that at Inter Milan before he came back to Chelsea. Yeah. And for Tuchel to say in the media, to come out publicly and say he's still going to support him as his player, it speaks good of the coach. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, maybe when he's not a Chelsea player anymore, he could tell you, he could come out and say, look, I was having this particular, problem with my coach or with some certain players in the dressing room, and it was toxic for me. That's why I couldn't deliver. Or, it could just be a natural, decline in his career at the moment because, that's form in football. We say it's not permanent, but class, of course, is permanent. So he has the class. He has the quality, but maybe it's just a decline in form for him, which he himself needs to work on. Yep. Because Chelsea really needs him as a point man in their games, and that's why they're lacking in goals. If he's been clinical in goals, Chelsea could be winning 3-0, 4-0, 2-0.
More convincingly.
Yes, they have a very good defense line. So what Chelsea is lacking is just somebody to convert chances in attack for them. So Romelu Lukaku himself should work on his game.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah, carry on.
So
just land.
The stats are not good for him. And what right now football is all about data. That's why we employ data analysts and data scientists in football. So if the data is not good, then definitely you're not good as a player.
So definitely worrying times are for Romelu Lukaku. Olamide, want to thank you for being a part of the show. Appreciate your insight and analysis. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. All right, so still talking about the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea will be banking on Romelu Lukaku to score the goals tonight against Lille. But in the post, they'll be banking on Edouard Mendy to shut out any goal that might, come from Lille. Edouard Mendy, one of the most successful goalkeepers in recent times. He's been talking about his recent success as well as being focused on achieving more with Chelsea.
A lot of good things happened the last day and the last weeks, and yes, obviously I'm really happy and proud for my success in the national team and also in Chelsea. But I don't have time to celebrate because we have a lot of big games this weeks and the coming weeks. So I'm just focused about the next game, and I will have time to celebrate at the end of the season.
That's the mentality right there. Edouard Mendy will wait to celebrate at the end of the season after Chelsea perhaps might have won more titles. That's it for the show. I want to thank you for being a part of it. Enjoy the rest of your day and join us again tomorrow. I am Tyson. Salam.